Well, now we'll go over to the news desk for the rest of the day's news from your part of the Calendar region.
A 2-year-old boy from Sheffield has disappeared while on a Greek holiday island. Police say he may have been kidnapped. Jim Greensmith reports.
Little Benny Needham disappeared into a forest near a house his grandparents are renovating on the island of Kos. A major search is underway, but the police say the boy could have been kidnapped. Benny and his mum Donna left their home at Norfolk Park several months ago to go to Kos. Neighbours enjoyed seeing Benny.
He was a friendly little boy, definitely. As I say, he used to come to the door and knock on the door and that's walk away, want to get hold of your hand and walk on. A nice little boy.
Benny's home in Sheffield is now bare. He and his mum Kerry were staying in a caravan on the wooded Greek island.
I'm sorry, I hope they find him. I do.
The entire island is being combed for Benny, though it's 4 days since he was last seen.
An investigation has been launched into safety at an amusement...
Evening all, welcome to Calendar at 6 o'clock on Tuesday, July the 30th. A full-scale search is continuing for the missing Sheffield toddler who disappeared while staying with his mother on the Greek island of Kos. Ben Needham has been missing for nearly a week and there are fears that he may have been kidnapped. Sarah Dearden reports.
Benny Needham's family went to Greece in the spring. They wanted to settle down on the island of Kos. A week ago, the 21-month-old baby disappeared in the region of Ikalis in the northeast of the island. It's feared that Benny may have been kidnapped and a full-scale search has now been launched. His mother, Kerry Ann, spoke to Calendar from Kos this afternoon.
What have the police been doing to try to find Benny?
Just searching everywhere. They've had 50 soldiers from the army, dogs, divers, everything. They've done everything they possibly can under the circumstances.
And is it your own gut feeling that Benny is still on the island, or do you think he's been taken off the island?
Taken off.
Back to England?
I don't know. Anywhere. Could be anywhere.
And what would you say to anybody listening to this who might actually have some information about Benny?
Just bring him back to me.
Benny's father, 21-year-old Simon Ward, was back in Sheffield when he heard about his son's disappearance. He'd returned earlier this month because there was no work on Kos. His common-law wife, Kerry Ann, and Benny were due to join him soon.
I don't know, it must have been taken, but I just don't know why, if they can't find him now.
Do you believe he is still alive?
Yeah. I hope so, yeah.
What do you want to do now?
So get out of there so I can do something.
Late this afternoon, a Nottinghamshire businessman contacted Simon, who's unemployed, offering to help fund his flight. Simon hopes to fly to Kos soon to help in the search for his son.
Sarah Dearden reporting. The recent collapse of the...
Involved at all in was he up here yesterday helping you with the search?
The new witness has not been anywhere near this site, no.
Are you speaking to him as it goes on, though? Are you asking him more questions as the search goes on?
I'd rather not answer that question if that's okay, thank you.
There's a second dozer who's a Kos resident that claims that has found an indication of bones in one of the two areas. Have you been speaking to him?
I personally haven't spoken to him. He has been in touch with the investigation team and somebody will be getting in touch. To clarify, I personally have not been in touch with him, no.
Could you perhaps address the speculation that it was that Barkas had told somebody that he had done it, and now that he's passed away, that perhaps this is the information that will come forth?
Again, it's well publicised. Mr. Barkas spoke to a reporter from the Mirror newspaper back in 2012, Tom Parry, and if you were to look at that article that was published then, you will see that there is an indication that he may have considered that he could have had an accident on that day.
Bit of a boring question, John. What's the actual size of the area that you're working?
I understand it to be approximately 2.5 acres in total, the area that we're working on. Yeah.
Thanks, everyone. The next phase, I suppose, for those that are interested, would be for me to introduce two of our search team.
one of whom is the figure you see behind me, and Thanos. If those would like to stay behind, and we can start that session now, I suppose. Thanos, where are you?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, sorry, Thanos. You will probably recognise, if not one, both of these gentlemen. This is Panos. Inspector Panos works for Northumbria Police. And this is Thanos. He works for South Yorkshire Police.
It's almost like a double act, isn't it?
They will talk you through their story and how they came about this operation, maybe what they do back at home. But yeah, if you're happy, I don't believe there's any. Is there any need for Greek translation of what we're saying?
Not really.
Okay.
How do you want to do it? It's going to be question and answers, or do you just want to just start off basically?
Start by introducing yourself.
Come a little closer.
Take it in turns. Whoever wants to go first, introduce yourself, and then
Squeeze together a bit as well.
with John.
No holding hands though.
Yeah, of course.
Try not to. No, better not.
Yeah, absolutely fine.
Let him fire questions if you want. If you want, it's up to you.
Afterwards, we'll just do a quick one.
Yeah.
Do a quick one.
Yeah, if you want. Yeah, I've got no issues. Oh God Almighty! Right. Okay, how do you want to do it? Do you want to ask questions? Do you want me to start off? What?
Can you start off a bit, just telling us what you're doing?
Yeah, do you want to start? Introduce yourself.
Right, Pete Derris or Panos Derris, my Greek name. I am a police inspector with Northumbria Police, second to South Yorkshire Police in relation to Operation Ben. I've been part of the team since 2012. My role has increased with the investigation. Started off in 2012 initially as an interpreter and sort of assisting both police forces and the magistrate to coordinate the Greek, English and volunteer services for Operation Ben. It was a big undertaking at the time. I think everybody's seen the statistics in relation to as to how much earth was sifted that day, or those 10 days. As a result, it's taken us all over Greece to speak to various people. A lot has been said about the investigation and where Ben could possibly be. I've been an integral part of the investigation, interviewing people, assisting with translations, linking in with police services, and then obviously my role today is the logistics and coordination of the actual dig, linking with the two police search advisors. So in a nutshell, that's my role here today. It's a long drawn affair, as you can see. There's a lot of people helping us out from the volunteer services, the Greek search and rescue. Painstaking work. We're going down to fragments as small as 1 centimetre that we're looking at, so it takes time. It's laborious. It's not exciting by any sense of the word, but it has to be done. It has to be done methodically, and it has to be analysed to the very last grain of sand, basically. So that, unless anybody's got any questions for me, but in a nutshell, that's me and my role. And over to Thanos.
Hi, I'm Thanos Foulis. I work for South Yorkshire Police as an offender manager. My role with OBEN started about 18 months ago. What I bring to the investigation is, apart from the obvious language skill, I do have a connection with the island because early years 2000, I used to work on the island for 2 summers, so I have connections. I'm familiar with life in the island, how locals act and think. I can communicate with them in a familiar level, I would say, and I bring to the investigation skills, apart from communication, obviously, investigation skills as well as so. If you have any questions, I don't know.
Could you tell us how hopeful you feel about this new search and what's different about it, and perhaps because you were here in 2012?
What's different about it? Like any investigation, we progress. We analyse all the information that we've got, and obviously that gets cross-examined, and from there we take policy decisions as to where that takes us next. That's the stage where we're at now. You know, there's been a lot of hard work. There's been 18 months worth of work, speaking to people, investigating. If I can tell you that we went to Interpol in Greece, and there's at least 6 boxes full of information that we have to go through and sift every single piece. Read that, and everything that we've obtain has put us in a position where we need to dig again, basically, and try and find some answers. and that's the stage. Hopeful? Yes, we're always hopeful. You know, you have to be optimistic. This is what we do. Okay.
Thank you both.
Okay, great.
Good morning, everybody. As has just been said, it is day 10 of the search in looking for the answers for the family of Ben Needham in relation to his disappearance 25 years ago from here. Yesterday was a good day in terms of the search itself. We managed to dismantle the bottom end of the farmhouse in the appropriate manner, bearing in mind the wishes and the sensitivity nature of it for the family who own this farmhouse and very kindly allowed us to do that, but also in the correct way for myself to be able to do the work that I now need to be doing today. It's going to be a long day in relation to the search. There is an awful lot to do around that specific area. It is a targeted area, and it is a very important area for me to make sure that we've done everything that we can and captured every opportunity. At the moment, I am now at 1991. That's the thing, we're down to that level. What we see now is what was there at that time. That's what's important for me. We've managed to take back everything else that was there and over that location to be what is there within a matter of days from Ben's disappearance.
Aku sana. Nih, kateva kato.
Stand alongside Detective Inspector John Cousins a little earlier. More than 2 hours, Eddie Needham stood alongside Detective Inspector John Cousins as he talked.
Trying to find answers to Ben's disappearance. They're working tirelessly in difficult conditions, and we understand how emotionally and physically difficult this must be for them. I'm aware many have taken time away from their families just to help our family. It shows how people care and how compassionate.
Area does. It's weird, isn't it? Right, chaps, thank you ever so much for your support over the years. Let's hope we can get some conclusion. Thank you ever so much. Bye-bye.
The biggest of breakthroughs could come from the tiniest fragments. On Kos, the search moves inch by inch. But there's a new hope from British officers here that this patch of Greek ground could finally explain what happened to Ben Needham, the 21-month-old who vanished 25 years ago.
This is a significant event that we're carrying out. I would not be doing that if I wasn't optimistic that we're going to find something of significance that hopefully will provide an answer for Ben's family.
Ben disappeared in July 1991. He'd been playing outside the house on Kos his family were renovating. But a full search led nowhere. In 2003, police released an image of how he might have looked then. They dug up ground close to where Ben disappeared in 2012, but still no breakthrough. Then earlier this year, with new Home Office money, police appealed again. And new information has brought them back to the place Ben was last seen. It's thought the information centres on this man, Dinos Barkas, A new witness has reportedly told police Barkas may have killed the toddler in an accident with his digger. His widow has dismissed any suggestion he was involved. But the new theory has shocked Ben's mum. Kerry has long believed her son is still alive. Kerry told the Daily Mirror, "Not even in my worst nightmares has Ben ever been dead, until now. I've been waking up and finding my pillow wet with tears." This witness told police, "We deserve the truth, but we deserved the truth 25 years ago."
I spoke to Kerry personally this morning, and clearly it's an extremely upsetting time for all of the family. It's going to be very difficult, but it has been extremely difficult for all of them for the past 25 years.
As police diggers began pulling up the ground today, a warning from South Yorkshire Police that there will be hundreds of animal bone fragments on this ancient farmland. And if an answer does lie in this soil, it may not be found quickly. Dominic Reynolds, 5 News.
Could this plot of land hold the clue to the disappearance of Ben Needham 25 years ago? Ground beneath this farmhouse on the island of Cos is one of the only unsearched areas in the police investigation. It's where the 21-month-old went missing during a visit to see his grandfather, who was renovating the property. The toddler wandered off to play and never returned. This is the building before today's work began. You can see the extension that has now been knocked down on the left. It was built after Ben went missing and so could be covering crucial evidence.
It goes right back to the nearest point of the earliest investigation that took place. When you look at that, you can clearly see that that lower part of the building was not present at the time that Ben disappeared. And as I say, I've got to be sure that I've covered everything before we leave this area.
Police returned to the farmland after a tip-off that Ben may have been killed in an accident with a digger and then buried here. The family who now live on the farm have agreed their home could be dismantled to help detectives with their investigation. Police, forensic experts and even archaeologists have been working alongside one another in the hunt for clues for 9 days now. Ben's mum, Kerry Needham, has expressed her gratitude for their dedication. She and her family are in daily contact with the police as they continue to try to finally find answers about what happened to her little boy. Chloe Potter, 5 News.
Well, next tonight to the continuing campaign by Kerry Needham to find her son Ben, who disappeared from the Greek island of Kos in 1991.
Next week, Ben will be 25. 23 of those years he's been apart from his mum, his grandparents, all his family, including his sister Leanna. In recent years, Kerry has stepped up efforts to secure funding for South Yorkshire Police to investigate leads which the family believes have never been investigated fully. In 2012, South Yorkshire officers joined a team to excavate the farmhouse from where Ben disappeared but found nothing.
Well, Kerry is with us in the studio along with her daughter Leanna and a new addition to the family, the beautiful Hermione, who's being incredibly good. It's lovely to see you.
Thank you.
Where are we, or where are you at this moment in time with securing this funding or getting things moving yet again to find Ben?
It's still a little bit up in the air. I had a meeting with South Yorkshire Police on Monday, spoke with Superintendent Fenwick. He's applied for funding from the Home Office to make sure that South Yorkshire Police can assist the Greek police, who are being extremely cooperative at this time, I must say. He's ready and waiting with his team of detectives. It basically comes down to our government to make sure that they receive this funding.
Do you believe if this funding is put in place, they go to Greece and Kos, you will find Ben?
I think we will find out at least what happened. I don't know whether Ben will be at the end of that investigation. There's so much information that we've received from 1994 up until the end of last year as well. All different people. They don't know each other. They're not related in any way. All naming one particular family that they said that they've seen Ben within this family. It's a very, very good line of inquiry, and I know South Yorkshire Police want to get on with this, and I believe they can find some answers, yes.
Well, Angela Smith MP, she has been backing your campaign, and this is what she had to say.
Wonderful.
We've tried repeatedly to get David Cameron
to intervene and give more support to the work required to find Ben. And in the context of all the support that's being given to the McCanns, I think it really is incumbent on the Prime Minister to finally acknowledge that Kerry deserves the same level of support in finding her son that the McCanns have had in terms of finding Madeleine.
Well, Angela Smith there mentions the McCann family and the support they've had to try and find Madeleine. You're not looking for that kind of funding, are you?
No.
But you just want the support
I
there.
just want the backing of our government from day one, from the day that Ben disappeared. My family and myself believe, we've been abandoned by our government. It's shameful, really, Our family has done this investigation by ourselves from day one. It's only the last sort of year, 18 months, where the Greek police have been wanting to get involved and wanting to do something. So why can't everybody work together? I'm not going to have a go at the McCann family. They deserve to find Madeleine, but we also deserve to find Ben. Why is there such a big difference with one family getting such a high level of support and one family getting nothing? It's disgraceful.
Well, Leanna, you've got your beautiful daughter now, of course, Ben's niece.
Yeah.
And, yes, we're talking about you.
We are.
It must be so frustrating to not have those answers that you're still needing to find.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's not just me that's now never met my brother. She's now not met her uncle, who possibly should have been there when she was born. And, I mean, it was hard for me to grow up knowing that Ben wasn't there, but him still being such a big part of our family. And obviously now she's got to endure that now, and the same pain as I had to grow up, and my mum and all the rest of the family. So it's going to be tough.
It is, most definitely. Well, we do wish you well. Hopefully things will move on. As you say, all the things are in place.
We've got a lot of support, a lot of public support as well, and I don't think this is not going to go away. If Mr Cameron doesn't act now, then I think he's going to have quite a lot of letters on his doorstep.
Kerry, Leanna, thank you very much.
Thank
And of
you.
course, Humani, thank you.